Minto has taken the mat for the Cornhuskers. We'll take a look at 165. Jay Nivison going for Michigan State, the graduate. Minto, the freshman. Minto, though, 9-1 on the season. Nivison, 7-10. This one should be another one that we'll be looking at. Minto with a big win on Friday. The only victory not to end in bonus points for the Cornhuskers, but it was still a top 10 victory.
Yeah, Minto beat Bo Mantanona out of Michigan, a guy who I know the Wolverines have high hopes for. A lot of expectations for Mantanona. They were not expecting Minto to go in there and pick up that major upset, 7-2. He just didn't beat him. He beat him up pretty good as Nivison. Now we've seen Michigan State get to a few of those slide bys on 3 occasions here. Must be something they're working on.
Just
sneaky with those slide bys.
Yeah, feeling it out. Nivison wrestled on Friday for Michigan State, a pin victim to number 14, Tyler Lillard.
You say, yes, he was pinned, and the scorebook will say that. So for history, they will be saying that he lost by fall. But I'll tell you what, that was an overtime match where Nivison was in deep on a shot, in deep as it gets, and just lost his footing and fell to his back.
And that was one that was tied 1-1 going into overtime. So again, like we saw with Lovett and Jones, just one of those that really the score doesn't indicate how close that really was.
No, you put Jaden Nivison in on that shot 10 times and he finishes it 9 times. I mean, it's something that is very rare and this is exactly where he was. This exact position is where Nivison was. Let's see what he learned from Friday night.
Minto in dangerous position right here. We're starting to count. Back points didn't get up to 2 though. They'll meet back in the middle.
I love it. And this is what the difference in Jaden Nivison from the beginning of the season to now is he's getting to the shot where he is successful. And it is that high-level shot where he doesn't even touch his knee. Pay attention to his right hand. He just sneaks it down, goes collar tie, sneaks it down, and is getting his hands locked. And what it's doing is it's taking away any risk. It's minimal risk when you get to, if you don't finish that shot, you just let it go. But you're not getting caught underneath as he was getting caught so often at the beginning of the season. So it's constant adjustments and it's little things like that that help you continue to grow here in the Big Ten, because he comes from Buffalo. Getting used to this Big Ten schedule is something that's going to take him some time.
Minto, as we mentioned, just a freshman, going towards the Nebraska side now. 3-time NHCA state champion. His redshirt senior season, 16-4, did not wrestle in a duel. This year, 2-1 on the year in duels. Big win, as we mentioned, on Friday night.
And I love how Minto is cutting the mat off. You notice how much control he has of the mat. Whenever Nivison tries to work his heels back to the center of the mat, because right now his heels are towards the out-of-bounds line, and you're starting to see this is mat management is what we call it. So Minto is starting to manage the mat. He's pushing this pace of the mat where he wants to go. As Nivison again goes for that high-level shot. Nice job.
Got a stall warning issued.
Did they give a stall warning?
I believe that was the first, so it'll just go as a warning. Now Nivison has to be careful here. So we end the first scoreless between Minto and Nivison. Even though there was no score there in the first, there was still a lot of action. Both feeling each other out, but doing a nice job fighting each other off.
Yeah, there's that shot that I was talking about, that elbow pass to that snatch single. Minto goes shoulder roll.
Nice move to get the escape. Both will meet back in the middle.
There's a poke in the left eye for Nivison while the match was stopped.
Nivison, a transfer from Buffalo, graduate senior from Michigan State, from Davison, Michigan, went to Davison High School. 0-4 on the year in duels. Looking for his first duel victory on the season. Both back end neutral. It's just been a neutral fight here, Eric.
Yeah, but it's all Minto up to this point. Nivison has to work to get back towards the center, because at this point, it's extremely dangerous how he's dealing with another stall call could be coming soon.
There it is. There's the other stall, so Minto will get another point.
It's the control of the mat area that's really been a troubling factor for Nivison right now.
It just goes out. Tried to flip it around there. Both back end neutral. Under 40 to go here in the second. And another stall is called on Nivison. Eric, you just mentioned the positioning on the mat is his biggest kryptonite right now. So now that is 2 stall points for Minto that he gets off the stalls called on Nivison. And still Minto doing a nice job controlling the center of the mat. Nivison now in that position as we wind down here in the second. Minto trying to go for the shoot, runs out of time. Takes a 3-0 lead into the third. 2 minutes to go here. Nivison will start on the bottom. And Eric, if you're Nivison right now, already 2 stall calls called against you, how do you stop that? Because any time after that, it's going to continue to tally up.
The referees are not on his side right now, but he has to focus on picking up an escape first. So right now, Minto riding tough on top, and Nivison in danger of giving up near fall. And look at that, a beautiful cheap tilt.
He gets 4 for the near fall there.
Yeah, just jump sides quick, and Nivison had that bottom wrist locked up and gave up the 4 near fall.
And Nivison already called for 3 stalls, and this one, a 4th, would result in 2 points for Minto.
Yeah, I think this is where I would have went on my feet. I think Nivison, although he gave up the 2 stall calls, that is his best. You want to put yourself in the best position to win, and Nivison has to have the understanding that he can't get caught underneath. I mean, this can't build a habit. And look at this near fall, gets that elbow. Look how tight that elbow is. That left elbow is on his hip. And it was just a cheap tilt, caught that wrist underneath, jumped sides, knew exactly where he was, held it for 4.
Gets the right shoulder blade down for 4 seconds there for the 4 points. Under a minute to go now in this one. Riding time just getting over a minute as Nivison gets the escape finally. So Minto now in position to have the riding time secured if Nivison cannot get a takedown here.
Yeah, Nivison has to get his head through at some point, duck this leg. So right now you see him duck the leg, and now he has to get his head up. His head is stuck down, which is putting a lot of pressure on his neck. It's going to be tough to finish here.
That's a tough position to be in. They'll reset in the middle. Have to think that helps up Nivison a little bit. Minto, though, approaching bonus point territory. He's gonna need a takedown here if he wants to get there. Riding time will give him a point, but still only up by 7 if that were to happen. Needs to do it quickly with 5 seconds to go. And that'll do it. A decision for Minto. Wins it over Nivison 7-1, and 3 more points going to the Huskers.
I think Minto is someone you're going to see in the rankings pretty soon. Does that move him to 11-1 on the season?
And what a great weekend for him. A top 10 victory and finishing business here in East Lansing.
Doing so on his feet and on top, picking up some near fall, and that's exactly what Brian Snyder said when I asked him what